Hey guys, welcome to the top 10 list. Welcome to my top 10 most overrated superhero movies. Didn't do this top 10 list. I always thought I did, like I've done so many superhero related shit, comic book movies, and all that crap. Done so many tier rankings, top 10s, top 20s, top 100s. No, never will do that. But so many superhero stuff I've talked about, and my opinions have always has drastically changed over the years since I've been on this channel. It's been interesting, the evolution of Jay Vaters, but never done overrated superhero movies. Let's do it. I'm ready, bring on the hate. But I feel like a lot of people will agree with a lot of these. And it's just so hard to tell, like, what's an overrated movie, what's an underrated movie, what justifies it being overrated or underrated. Is it like because it's low on Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Metacritic, or just like the public? There's just so much layers to this, and I'm just gonna try my best to explain why I think these movies are just a little overhyped, or they're just really bad, and even calling it okay still makes it overrated. So, all right, let's just get through this. Coming in number 10 is Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. I don't think this movie is a bad movie. I just think it's an overrated movie. I loved the Mandarin villain in this movie. I thought he was really great villain. I thought the train sequence that they constantly promoted for this movie was a really great kung fu action sequence. The whole movie I thought was going to be like a kung fu movie, but it turns into a very fantasy, lazy Marvel movie that we all know and tolerate. I thought Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, and Aquafina, the two lead characters, I thought they were the most uninteresting and probably either boring or annoying characters in the film. The movie is a lot about the two of them. And Shang-Chi is a boring character, and Aquafina doesn't shut the fuck up. And I couldn't stand them. I wanted the whole movie to be about his dad. I thought his dad was the most interesting character. I loved his whole story. I understand why he became a villain. Should have been the focus of the movie. He was fantastic. I even liked Shang-Chi's sister when she's this underground fighter and she just couldn't see her brother anymore. That was even more interesting. The sister and the father were the more interesting, but they were pushed to the side for Shang-Chi and Aquafina that I could give two fucks about. And yeah, it was just so back and forth throughout this movie. And even the ending, I thought it was too fantasy, too much CGI heavy and stuff. And if the movie was just middle of the road ratings, I would have not even put it on this list because I think the movie is just okay. It's okay. But a lot of people love this movie, put on their best movies of when does this movie come out? 2021? Yeah, it was the best of 2021 stuff. And I'm just it's not that good. It's okay. There's some good action. It's got a great villain. There's good stuff in it, but it is not this amazing, brilliant superhero movie that we've been waiting for. Not even close. Alright, let's continue on the Marvel train. Doctor Strange. Psh, fucking boring. So boring, this movie. Doctor Strange. I'm not gonna say multiverse of madness because that's more divisive than overrated. Either people love or hate that movie. This movie gets a lot of praise, especially when it came out in 2016. Everyone really loved this movie. Fuck, even I had the Marvel fanboy blinders on. Every Marvel movie was just so good. I took those blinders off, and now I see the movies for what they are. A lot of them are great, but a lot of them suck. But there are a lot of fanboys out there that still have those blinders on, and no matter what crap Marvel pukes out at us, they still love it and still think it's amazing. Doctor Strange is neither good or amazing. It is tolerable at best. I think Benedict Cumberbatch is a annoying Stephen Strange. I was never on board with Benedict Cumberbatch. I think he's more tolerable in the Infinity War Endgame because he's not very big, but he cannot carry his movie as Doctor Strange. I just don't like Doctor Strange. He's an annoying Tony Stark. That's what he is. He's Tony Stark, but more annoying and less likable or enjoyable. No matter how Benedict Cumberbatch tries, he'll never be Robert Downey Jr. The villain was generic. I thought the whole story was it was just a basic, boring origin story that I just didn't give a rat's ass about. And some of the visuals are trippy. I can give it that, but all in all, it's a very underwhelming and boring movie, and I don't know why people love it so much. I don't know. Number 8 is The Suicide Squad. Yes, not the 2016 one. Everyone could agree that's a bad movie. But this is the 2021 Suicide Squad one? 2021, right? People love this fucking movie. Once again, like Shang-Chi, it was like on a lot of people's top 10 lists of the 2021. Like, this is a proper Suicide Squad movie. I didn't see it. I saw the movie. I just didn't see what they were talking about because it's basically Guardians of the Galaxy, but R-rated Guardians of the Galaxy. To me, that's not the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad is not all like funny jokes, ha ha ha, campy, foo foo foo, over the top. They're a brutal syndicate of crime destroyers and stuff. As much as I did love, Sylvester Stallone as King Shark. He was pretty enjoyable. Idris Elba was fine too, but like I don't know, I didn't. The ridiculous over the top violence is I've seen all this done before. Like if this was a movie that came out like 20 years ago, maybe it would have been really good. But the self-aware humor, the group camaraderie, always like bickering and snarting at each other, and quippy one-liners, and all of this has been done before. We've seen it in Deadpool and Guardians of the Galaxy and all these other movies. Like I don't know. For this me, it was a been there, done that, and just I don't know. I thought it was underwhelming, so I think it's overrated. Number 7, Birds of Prey. When this movie came out, most people were really positive on it. Even though it bombed at the box office because no one wanted to see it because the director is an idiot. A lot of people are very. I know more people are harsher on it now, but I don't think they're harsh enough because it's one of the worst superhero movies or anti-superhero movies, whatever you like to call it. It's garbage. It's fucking terrible. Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Rosie Perez, everyone, Ewan McGregor, all wasted in this movie. All terrible in this movie. Forced feminism, shitty editing, crappy-ass villain, horrible marketing. Can't stand this movie. Some people love it. I get it. I actually don't get it. Why do you love this movie? Let me know in the comments below why you love this movie. Anyways, number 6, we got Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Again, this movie isn't that bad. It's not bad. There's some great dramatic scenes. I think, what's her name? I forgot her name already. I'm sorry. Letitia Wright is one of them. She's good. And the mother, whatever her name is, famous actress, who's in What's Love Got to Do with It? And How Stellar Got Her Groove Back. Angela Bassett, that's her name. She's great. She's really good. I actually think she is the best in this movie. I understand her nomination. I just think the movie's overly long, and it doesn't work without Chadwick. I'm sorry. Black Panther works so well because of Chadwick and Michael B. Jordan. They were the best parts. A great hero and a great villain going toe-to-toe who have almost similarity beliefs, but also have different ways of doing it, which makes them bump heads with each other. It's a fascinating story and a fascinating conflict. There is no fascinating conflict in this one. It's just, T'Challa's dead. Let's be sad for an hour and a half and stop this idiot villain with wings on his feet. Okay. There's great performances. There's great dramatic scenes. There's occasionally an okay action sequence. But there's too many characters. I didn't care. It didn't have T'Challa. Obviously it can't. But it just, I felt like it was too soon. I don't think we should have made another Black Panther movie for at least another like 10, 15 years. I don't know. I didn't care for it like everyone else did. I thought it was okay, maybe decent, but people just, again, loved it so much, and 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and it's like a 6 out of 10 movie, so just overhyped. Alright, next, number 5, the first Amazing Spider-Man. I know there are people who don't like this movie. Good. But it's still a pretty decently scored movie. Like, it's near like that 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 range. And people are saying, because of After No Way Home, that Andrew Garfield is now like the most underrated Spider-Man. And no, he is not. Just because he was good in No Way Home doesn't mean he was good in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, because he wasn't. He was a terrible Peter Parker, and he was a very annoying Spider-Man who didn't shut up. I thought Tobey was the perfect blend. I think Tom Holland is pretty good. Andrew is not. He was good in No Way Home. I liked him in No Way Home, but he was not good in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. In the first Amazing Spider-Man, everyone knows the second one sucks. But the first one is like, oh, well, at least the first one's good. No, the first one sucks just as much as the second one does. It's got a shitty villain. It follows the Tobey Maguire plotline the same. And it has a boring love interest. And Andrew Garfield is so annoying. He doesn't shut up in this movie. And he also doesn't look like he should be in high school. Tobey is the same, but at least Tobey is a better actor. But I digress. I just never was a fan of this movie. I can't stand it. And there are a lot of defenders out there. That's fine, but I'll never get it. Anyways, number 4, Thor Ragnarok. Yeah, not Love and Thunder. Everyone knows that's a pile of ass. Ragnarok isn't a bad movie. It's not. It's not a bad movie. It's overrated, though. It's a decent movie. It's an entertaining popcorn flick. It's not the second coming of Christ. It's not the greatest superhero movie of all time. It's not the greatest comedy of all time. It's not the greatest Marvel movie of all time. A lot of people just put it right up there, and I'm just like, okay. It's fun when it is fun, and, you know, like, I think Thor is pretty fun in the movie, and even The Incredible Hulk and Loki are enjoyable. And Jeff Goldblum is enjoyable, and the Korg is actually pretty good in the fucking movie. Like, he's actually tolerable, but Valkyrie is annoying. And again, this is the kind of movie that started that Marvel thing where, like, it's jokes. Like, every 5 seconds it's jokes. And, like, every movie wants to be like this in Guardians of the Galaxy. And just, it got really annoying, and I blame this movie for what the Marvel mess is in now. Like, that stupid joking every 5 seconds, I blame a lot of that on Thor Ragnarok and Taika Waititi. And just, Taika Waititi's not a bad filmmaker, but now, like, because of Thor Ragnarok, he's, like, known as, like, one of the great comedy directors, and just, I don't think he is, and just, I don't know. For some reason now, Thor Ragnarok has, like, this bad taste in my mouth, and just, anytime it's, like, on, I just kind of, like, roll my eyes in disgust of it. So, moving on. Number 3, Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is also not a bad movie, but a severely overrated one. People had the blinders on off the first Deadpool, and they thought Deadpool 2 was just as amazing, just as great. It's not. It's not as funny. It's not as clever. The first Deadpool, I don't even think the first Deadpool is a masterpiece by no means, but it's a good movie, and it's a good Deadpool movie. But Deadpool 2 is so convoluted, it gets ridiculous, and just, there are things that make no sense, and some of the jokes, when you watch it a couple more times, they do not land at all. There are still fun moments. There are still the human Peter. I think he steals the whole movie. I think he is very funny. And the entire X-Force thing is very funny and still is funny. But the scenes with the little kid, he's annoying and all that shit. And then the X-Men references I don't find very funny. I'm just like, I don't know. There's some weird stuff in this movie that I'm just like, that just doesn't work. And I know, like, a lot of people are huge Deadpool fans, and, like, Deadpool's a very popular character. And I'm not saying, again, Deadpool 2 is a bad movie. It's just, it's a very overrated movie, and trust me, the jokes, after watching it a couple times, they don't land. It gets annoying. And I hope Deadpool 3 is actually pretty good. I hope so. Anyways, number 2, Black Widow. Black Widow is, again, like that Amazing Spider-Man. Like, it's just okay. It's like in those 7, 8 out of 10. I think this movie is shit, actually. This is why I, like, when I'm justifying overrated, like, if they're like, even if they're just average, I think average is too generous, and I think that's too overrated. I think this movie should be in like those, like the Rotten score. I think this movie has got a terrible story and bad acting by some of the side characters, a shitty villain, an insult to Taskmaster, really bloated CGI, and just a plot that no one cares about. And a story that no one cares about because Black Widow is dead. Let's make a Black Widow movie, but she's dead. I like, that'd be like them making another Iron Man movie. Like, when he died already, but like, it's like a prequel to the first one. Like, you're just like, why? And I don't know, just every time I think about this movie, it just annoys the living shit out of me. And just, I was never a fan. Number 1, Teen Titans Go to the Movies. I don't have a lot to say about this one. It's a very praised movie critically, and I think they're idiots. I think this movie is trash, it's not funny, and it's not Teen Titans. That's it. Thank you all for watching. Bye.